Hey guys. Hey, my kings and queen. Welcome to Queen Talk. Today I'd like to talk about single motherhood. Yes, single motherhood. Um, disclaimer, disclaimer. I'm not promoting single motherhood. I want more nuclear families. My advice is that we as mothers raise our daughters to be wives, and fathers raise your son and help your daughters to be sons, to be husbands, and also help in raising your daughters to be wives as well. So that when when the kids are about 21, 25, these adults, about 21, 25, they are ready for marriage, or they're married already by the age of 25. This will prevent baby mamas, baby daddies. When you're married early, it prevents women from riding the CC, and it prevents men from having these sexual encounters and then going through traumas. It prevents both parties from having traumas when you're married early. We're at this state that we're in because of femininity and free will to do anything. And we could have intercourse with anyone we choose, we feel this and that. People are out here being able to say that they've slept with over 100 people. Can we take that in for a minute? There are people that are out here who are probably not even in their late 60s or 50s, who are in probably their 20s, that could say they've been with over 100 people. That's not even it. That's not right. Imagine all the energies you've taken in. That's why there's so much trauma. That's why there's so much craziness within the community. So that's why it's important to raise our kids to be wives and husbands early, so that they could find each other, get married. I've heard some people say, men are not supposed to marry until they're age 40. I get why they're saying that, because they hit maturity and things of that nature. But I believe with good fathers in the home that could cultivate that could be reached earlier. I've seen it. I've seen men who were 25 already making $100,000 a year. I've seen those, I know that it might be some outliers and things of that nature, but I'm just saying, the more we cultivate each other to take up this roles, the better it is for our community. Because you have to think about it. My grandma got married at the age of 16, had her first child at 17. And my grandfather married her probably when he was 30 something. But that was his second marriage. He already married somebody before. So if our grandparents can do it, and our great grandparents did it, and our parents did it, or grandparents did it in times of, or great grandparents did it in times of slavery, in times of Jim Crow, Reconstruction, we have no excuse. We have no excuse. We have better job opportunities, that we can help each other out even at that age. I'm more so advocating for the nuclear family. Single motherhood is not something to be praised about, to be we're not trying to advocate for that. I get it. I hear the Manosphere. Stay away from single mothers. Stay away. Stay away. Stay away. I get it. But you have to think about it, men. When you say that, it kind of sounds like those women saying, stay away from black men. All black men are bad. All black men are all black men abuse. All black men cheat. Black men don't like black women. They hate us. Black men don't protect. It gives off that same vibe. When I'm hearing, stay away from single mothers. They're bad. Stay away. Bad this, bad that. It's like, I get the sentiment. I do. And you are correct. We single mothers come with baggage. We come with a hell of a lot of baggage, especially when we have multiple kids. You know? From a marriage, you probably only have to deal with one man. But with this baby mama drama type situation, sometimes you have to deal with different fathers for each child. So I get the baggage. We come with a lot of baggage. That's why we single mothers need to live in reality land. Some of us are in Disneyland. I've heard some single mothers say, I don't want a man with kids. Sis, please stop. You sound silly. Why, sis? Why don't you want a man with kids? Is it because he's bringing the same baggage as you are? Maybe. So think about that. If you don't want a man with kids, can you blame the brothers who are saying they don't want a woman with kids? You really can't, can you? And you can't feel no type of way about that because they have their own choices. They have their own preference. But the key here is to bring together. The key here is unison. Key here is unison. That's why it's important that we single mothers, after our relationship, go to therapy. Heal. Accept accountability. Know what you did wrong. Accept that. Know what he did wrong. Forgive him for that. And if you think you can't put it back together, then better co-parenting. Don't be a bitter baby mom or bitter ex-wife who will not allow your man to move on. Using your kids as pawns and manipulation. Please, go get help. This is why I'm advocating for getting married young. It avoids trauma. It avoids people having trauma. And also it advocates and it grows more nuclear family. If you're 20-something and your husband is 20-something and you guys both work together, by the time that you're 40-something, the time that the age that I'm hearing men should be married and things of that nature, you'll be married for 20-something years. And guess what? The kid that you're going to have is going to also be 20-something. And if you're cultivating that child to be either a wife or a husband, they will also be married. And this is how we build a community and nuclear families. Stop telling your kids, go out and be independent. Don't rush it. Wait. Don't do anything. Please, enough of that. Cultivate the act of teaching your daughters how to be a wife, cook, clean, nurture, be a peace mate, help meet to a future husband. Cultivate your son to be on his purpose. It's good for your son to get education, or good for him to be in a trade. so he doesn't have to own any loans and be a slave to the loan company and Sally Mae. Somebody please call Sally Mae for me, by the way. Just joking. I digress. But seriously, I think that doing that cultivates more nuclear families, which then cultivates a community. You know, we're building legacies, we're building communities, we're building, you know, this right now is not working. So can we try something different? And this could be something different. And we cannot advocate this single motherhood thinking it's cute. We do need the men. You know, we didn't just blink and have a child. A man was a huge part of that. Without his, you know, seaman, we wouldn't have had a child. You know, it's very important that we're not out here advocating single motherhood. And we single mothers, I'm one, you know, live in reality land and not Disneyland. I am not the table. I am not the prize. My SMV, down. You know, I'm trying to be a better me. And I'm grateful for the person who has accepted me and taken me. We can't not be out here talking about we don't want a single dad. I think single mom, single dad should be together. That's equally yoked. He has baggage, you have baggage. Meet in the middle. Form that Brady Bunch. And let's build. Then we could teach the ones that we could show them, the kids that we already made or the kids that we're going to make, what a nuclear family looks like. This is why I advocate therapy on both sides for the men and the women. It's very wise to get therapy, get that healing, you know, so we could do better and move better. Y'all didn't hear that. But it's good to do that, you know? And we need to be humble as single mothers. We need to be very humble. We come with another man and maybe multiple kids. And with this baby mama era, some people come with multiple men. And this is why I don't have too much to say about, you know, what the preference is because of the baggage. You know, because that man has to think, will I be the law of the land? Or would this man over here, you know, come in between what I'm trying to lay in my house with his own laws? Or can we both men work together to know, hey, this is what I'm teaching in my house, you know? And can we cultivate that so we don't clash? So this is why it seems like a baggage. And for the single fathers out there, you guys are also a baggage. Understandable, the kids most likely, majority of the time, live with the mom. But you're still a father. That's the thing. You're still a father, regardless if the kids are not with you the 100% of the time. You're still a father. And if you're out there looking for a woman who are single, you have to think about them too. Would they want to be an immediate mom? Would they want to deal with whatever it is you and your ex or baby mama are going through? You know, would that be fair to them? Would that be something that you both can work with? We all need to humble ourselves. You know, we all need to humble ourselves and realize that we're not perfect out here. We're still work in progress. But we women they're a loud bunch. We are a loud, emotional bunch. I can't believe I forgot the congresswoman who stated that we don't need nuclear families, that she got raised by a single mom and had single grandma, that she came out all right. No, you didn't, sis. You did not come out all right. You would not make that statement. I know you missed your dad. I know you wanted your dad to be there. Could we not put messages like that out there? Could we not make it seem Instagram cute? It's a struggle to be a single mom. You hold each party's emotional structure. Two people, if you have multiple kids, you got all these people trying to feed off you. Get your attention. You know, kids need attention. At least with two people in the house, it can be balanced. You know? You could rest in your femininity. You don't have to say with your chest with your son. You know? You could rest in your femininity. You don't have to say it. You know? You can't be like, hey, boy. You could be like, hey, son. Hey, son. You know? You don't have to think you got to put a base in you and put on this masculine frame so that somehow your son can, you know, pay attention to you more. You know, you could rest in your femininity and capture their attention in your feminine frame, and they could receive that because they have a balance. They listen to what daddy sounds like, you know, and they know what that sounds like. So you don't need to do all that extra stuff because it's a balance. We do need men. Men come with logic. Men come with structure. You know, before we go out here in the dating-filled women, single mothers, you have to ask yourself these questions. Would that man be able to discipline my child without me being there, or putting my 25 cents in, or come in like Captain Save a Child? Will I be able to give him that reign to discipline my child? Or do I still have a feeling about that? If you still have a feeling about that, then please, sis, stay over there. Don't come into the dating world. If you don't think you could give 100% reign to another man to discipline your child, and you don't feel comfortable, you leaving your child with that man, or, you know, then sis, stay over there. Stay in therapy a little bit longer before you come out. You know, understand these are the things that we have to think about when we want to break up a family, you know, unreasonably. You have to think about these things. You know, there are great men out there. There's a lot of stories of great stepfathers. There are. You know, they are. So I do understand the Manosphere saying stay away from single mothers. A lot of baggage, stay away. But I just wanted to bring a little, little advice that, hey, just as you men don't want to hear black men are this, or all men are this, it's not fair to say all single mothers are this as well. It gives the same volume. You know, it gives the same tone. It's, you know, we just have to be mindful that the goal here is unison. There's some good single mothers out there that, you know, that will be humble enough to have a chance to be somebody's wife again, because now they know they've learned. If there's anything that it is that they did wrong, they've learned, because we all were raised to be wives, You know, we all weren't raised to be that way. We all weren't raised to be feminine. We've came from mothers telling us, go to school, get a job, get your bag, live your life, wait till 30, and then you settle down. So for 10 years or so, more than that, we've been mastering masculinity, providing protection, not even. But we've been mastering our masculine frame. And probably been watching Color Purple and everything else to scare us some more. We've been mastering fear of men and masculinity, so we feel like we don't need the men. But we do. You guys bring a lot of structure, bring a lot of logic to our empathetic and emotional selves, you know. So again, the key here is unity. The key here is nuclear family. This is for the women that are coming up below me, the women that are already in this. We can do better. Shahrazad Ali has been saying this for 30 years. The Bible has been saying this for how long now? Thousands of years. That we're helpmates. The man's supposed to lead. He's supposed to follow. There are laws in the Bible for us to follow, going biblically. I am a Christian. Pull back. I believe in God and the Bible. You know. So, I believe that we can do this together. I believe that we could work together. You know, it takes conversation like this. I love hearing conversations like this. And I love the conversations that I've been hearing. So shout out to Danica Marie, Chantelle, Simone, River TV, Crimson Cure, Shaz, who else? Shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson, Kevin Samuels, even a lot of other channels. Shout out to you all for starting this conversations, for waking us up, for making us think about
children. And I knew that, you know, from my past and from, you know, past relationships, I realized that men don't really want women with children. So when my husband found me, I was, you know, I was very appreciative of him. So that led me to continue to appreciate the sacrifice that he was making for me. And once we got married, you know, I don't believe in divorce. So I'm like, I want to make this work. I want this family. So I started to pray about it, and I started to read my word, and I started to really change my mindset, because there were things about me that was not acceptable. I was very masculine. I actually have a video on my page of about 4 or 5 years ago, and it's so cringeworthy, and I wanted to delete it, but I'm like, no, I want people to see the growth and that it's possible. But you know, I was a bit contentious, and my husband took the time, and he had so much patience with me to teach me what he wanted and what he needed. And I realized that he deserves this. He deserves this because he's my sacrifice. He's sacrificing and giving me his life and taking care of me and 2 children that are his. So I'm like, whatever I have to do, I'm going to do it. And so I started researching. I started watching YouTube channels. That is why I ran across yours as well. But I just started just feeding myself with as much content of how I can be a better wife. And, you know, it didn't happen overnight. it took a couple of years and failing and humbling myself. The biggest breakthrough was me humbling myself and recognizing my place and my role, and that not only it's not what my husband is bringing to the table. He is that table.
Ooh.
And I had to realize, this is my table. This is my husband is everything. And my children have a father, a good father. So I just needed to humble myself. Being too prideful of, I'm a woman, so you need to get right because you lucky to have me. I'm the
Yes, yes,
prize.
yes.
No, my
That's what I was.
husband is the prize.
Oh, that's